Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we have an interesting issue that has raised the worldwide community's interest that'll blow your mind. Prepare to be surprised as we delve into the surprising turn of events surrounding China's mind-blowing $100 billion project that left Australian scientists in shock. China is really investing in amazing projects. Let's embark on this interesting journey together. As we uncover the amazing story of how the collapse happened, we will discover the fascinating considerations that inspired these major projects as we dig into the fascinating world of the makers. Join us as we examine and know if there is more to the story than joining us on this journey. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned to discover the reality behind this. Let's briefly look at the relationship between China and Australia. Australia opened an embassy in Beijing in 1973 after establishing diplomatic ties with the People's Republic of China in 1972. The bilateral relationship between Australia and China is founded on the strong economic and commercial complementarities as well as enduring communal and cultural ties. The Australian Prime Minister and the Chinese President agreed to refer to the relationship as a comprehensive strategic partnership in 2014. The relationship has been strained in recent years. Nonetheless, the Australian government is dedicated to a mutually constructive and respectful partnership with China, in which we can pursue our joint objectives while keeping consistent with our own national sovereign interests. The spectacular sight of his mind-boggling $100 billion mega project, which is sending shockwaves throughout Australia. China is making headway on the development of a large mine in Guinea in Africa, which is expected to be operational by the year 25. China is the world's second biggest economy, but due to obsolete industrial technology, it requires a considerable amount of iron ore each year. Australia and China have recently had a strained relationship. China began reducing its imports of Australian iron ore to minimize reliance and later collaborated with Brazil and Mongolia. Australia was recently astonished by something surprising, and the German media even refers to China as lucky. So first, let's get a sense of what the $100 billion enterprise is all about. Today's video is about the Simandou Iron Mine, which is a large iron mine located in the Simandou mountain range in the Kori area of southern Guinea. With an estimated deposit of 2 billion metric tons, grading 65% iron metal, Simandou is one of the world's largest iron ore reserves, located around 550 kilometers east of the country's capital, Conakry. The highest point in labor iron deposits are about 4 kilometers apart at the southern end of the Simandou mountain. Both deposits have lengths of around 7.5 kilometers and widths of up to 1 kilometer in the production of hematite. Mineralization has been placed at both banded iron formations that have metamorphosed, becoming store-like graded up by rights. You may question how China and Australia are related to this iron ore and why Australia is concerned if China has acquired mining rights to the Guinea Simandou iron mine. Without further ado, the mining rights in the $100 billion lawsuit that has been given to China. When Australia withdrew its backing, China was able to seize the lead in the sector, which was a great feat. Yes, Australia once had the mining rights to the Guinea Simandou iron mine, where 1 billion metric tons of iron are produced at a cost of more than $200 billion. China is already making great headway in constructing a gigantic mine facility, which is scheduled to be operational in only a few years, by the year 25. China is not about to slow down anytime soon. China has the world's second biggest economy, which is unsurprising, but you might be shocked to learn that its industrial technology is outstanding. This explains why China consumes such a massive amount of iron ore each year, and Guinea's latest discovery is expected to play a key part in satisfying that requirement. The relationship between China and Australia has, to put it bluntly, been difficult in recent decades. China is consequently seeking for methods to minimize its reliance on Australian resources like iron ore. The Guinea Simandou iron mine, which was originally owned by Australia, recently obtained mining rights demonstrating that their efforts had paid off. The repercussions of Guinea's efforts are far-reaching, and it's uncertain how they'll affect the partnership between Australia and China. However, it is evident that China is taking significant measures to secure its future, and the present films are only one evidence of their determination to achieve so. So why did Guinea cut up its connection with Australia and offer China mining rights to this quantity of iron mine? Keqiang made the severe choice due to a number of underlying issues, so let's take a look at the most essential ones. Water conservation project on computers. We're all aware that Guinea has benefited from China's aid for African development. For example, China assisted Guinea in building the Eat Water Conservation Project, which not only handles Guinea's water difficulties, but also the citizens' electricity demands. Most significantly, Guinea may offer power to its neighbors, allowing it to earn a sizable amount of foreign money as a result of China's trade links and their effects on the Guinean economy. Although very low Guinea's exports to China are progressively expanding, the primary exports include metal rod, timber animal origin goods, iron ore, and aluminum, or one a medium ore shipments to China still represent for a major fraction of Guinea's entire export market, accounting for just 1.7%. In comparison, China's total imports in 2014 were $1.48 billion, with 46% of that number coming from Australia and only 0.83% from Guinea. It is highly valued due to its remarkable grade, applicability, and production of high-quality 1-minion Gideon aluminum minion, or Guinea is also known for having the world's largest reserve of aluminum. Guinea's iron ore exports to China have increased from 0% of total iron exports to 100% $18.2 million in 2014, and this percentage is expected to rise. Furthermore, beginning in 2006, Guinea began selling lumber to China for 2% of its total international wood exports, $72.2 thousand, and 2 years later, 68%, $17.3 million of all. While the proportion of exports to China did not decline by 62% in 2009, the volume of exports of $396 million decreased dramatically due to the political situation at the time. Furthermore, China exported a record quantity of wood from Guinea in 2010, accounting for 91% of the whole market, and as of 2012, China accounts for all worldwide exports of timber from Guinea, despite the fact that the overall value of exports has climbed from $3,000 to $4,000 per ton. The ratio of animal origin commodity exports to China in the year 2000 to $4.324 million, and it was always quite surprising. In general, the patterns of Guinea's primary export goods and the export trajectory to China suggest that trade linkages have aided the nation's overall growth and employment, particularly by allowing Guinea to participate in the global market and by supporting economic activities. They have done much of its export business in basic products. China has emerged as a major participant in the world economy, with an influence on practically every country. Their commercial and diplomatic ties with Guinea are fast expanding, giving a new source of funds and supporting it in broadening its market. As with any relationship, the Guinea and parties engaged in these trades have winners and losers. However, no country appears to have modernized or built its economy in a sustained manner by bilateral trading like Guinea now has the opportunity to develop its agriculture and gain from China's third railway devastation. As a method of demonstrating appreciation to China for handing up the majority of its natural riches for exploitation, China assisted Guinea in building a railway, allowing its trade to flourish swiftly. The most notable of these is the iron mine in Guinea's Simandou, where a Chinese-backed international consortium agreed to invest $4 billion in the construction of a 650-kilometer railway and a deep water port in exchange for rights to mine a vast unexplored resource of high-grade iron ore. The partnership between Guinea Society and Singapore Winning Shipping was backed by Chinese manufacturer Shandong Weijiu. The China Xi'an Support Group has gained the rights to mine Blocks 1 and 2 in the Summer Mountain Range, with this amount of deposit thought to hold the highest grade. Their price is the world's iron ore. It is located deep in southern Guinea, and the deposit, which is estimated to be contained in 7.5-kilometer drifts, is expected to be constituted of 65% humidity, with some estimates of its possible worth surpassing $100 billion. It's adjoining Sierra Leone in Liberia anti-clockwise. The quickest path to the sea must travel through Liberian territory, making access tough for export, but they clinched the deal by promising to build a heavy-load standard-gauge railway. That would, before getting at medical on the Guinean coast, traverse through 4 separate districts of any. The nation and government have insisted from the start that whomever develops the deposit must also build a substantially longer and more economically useful railway, according to the SMB Winning Group CEO Sun Shun. By linking these regions with the Trans-Guinea and Railway Guinea will have a genuine lifeblood, which will speed up the decentralization of its administration and business and reinforce its train infrastructure. The concept is remarkable in that it includes creating an infrastructure that might span up to 20 kilometers in order to reach deep water in Guinea's shallow coast. Yes, and after 5 years of contract ratification, they will have outbid the Australian mining behemoth Fortescue. The JV is necessary to complete the port and railway, and the Chinese steel industry is expected to acquire the majority of the iron ore. In his opinion, it is considered that these are the key underlying critical factors that caused Guinea to hand over mining rights to China. China may lack mining or iron industry knowledge, but it's eager to teach Guinea and has won their trust by giving free or low-cost aid for the development of ports and railways, among other topics highlighted in this video. Guinea took the choice to transfer Australia's mining rights to China. After concluding that only China could be trusted, since the Guinea Simandou iron mine has the ability to generate more than 100 million metric tons of iron each year. This option benefits China by satisfying its iron ore demands and furthering its industrial expansion by studying and developing new ventures. China is strengthening its ties with Guinea. China has been strengthening links with African nations and has long been South Africa's primary trading partner. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating trip as we've successfully looked at China's $100 billion project that surprised Australia. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more fascinating insights into the world of mega China projects.